Good morning, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Derka. And first off, thank you so much for 700 subs. I appreciate the support, and I have been having a ton of fun along the way, and we are going to get this channel to 1,000 subs very, very soon, with your continued help, of course. On to today. Today's clip features the double trouble duo that is Blyskawica Black and Orkan, two of the Polish or pan-European destroyers. This week, I feel like I've been in a bit of a rut, or a dry spell. I've been mostly playing Hood to try to get some good footage of her cool new camos, and because I really love the ship, and I want to play her more, but I've seemingly just been getting wrecked. Not having great games, dying plenty, and not getting good footage for you guys. And sometimes you get a 5-pound bag of russets on your team, but hey, maybe I'm just not the best battlecruiser player either. But finally, last night, enough was enough, and I decided to go looking for a division mate in the division mate wanted section. Now this basically is the Tinder of World of Warship Legends, where you swipe left or right depending on how cool their name sounds. There, I happened across an Xbox player with the gamertag YouSankMe. Now, for the life of me, I don't remember where, what game, how long ago, or what happened, but I know that I have seen that name and that we've played against each other or on the same team. And I remember this player being good, which is just what I needed. Someone to carry me, to help me back out of my dry spell. So YouSankMe and I went on a decent little win streak, and I just cannot stress enough the difference it makes to have at least one competent teammate. It is seriously like night and day. Now, through all of our games, we never chatted via headset, and to be honest, sometimes after a long day of work, you don't really feel like talking, interacting, making small talk, meeting people, blah, blah, blah. Both of us just kind of knew what to do to help the other person out and to generally win the game. So in this game, in the biscuit, we get a nice little kraken, and my division mate and I sweep this side of the map. The Blyskawica is a great destroyer with 7 hard-hitting guns, decent concealment, speed, and a good health pool. And when your buddy is in an Orkan, it is a great duo. The Orkan is the only destroyer in World of Warship Legends that comes equipped with radar. If you haven't looked into the ship, check out my video on it where I give some more detailed stats on how it compares to the other tier 6s. It is a challenging destroyer to play, no doubt, not having its own smokescreen, and unlike the French destroyers, it doesn't have that Bugatti speed. But if you're in a division, it's exceptional. Here are some quick stats on both destroyers and some of the other tier 6s. Feel free to pause it, take a look. I don't think I've updated this list since we did the Orkan review, but nevertheless, have at it. So, the Blyskawica, I play as a gunboat with Wild Willie in the always save version of John Wick named Vinnie Mordoff. I generally use Observant Rage in perk slot 1, Look at Me Now, Twist and Track, Smoke on the Water, Unstoppable, Aiming Systems Mod 1, Prop Mod, and Concealment. And some people might ask, why don't you do a double concealment build with Eric Bay? Well, I usually play to hunt and kill other enemy destroyers, and usually the 3 to 4 tenths of a kilometer difference in spotting range doesn't make a whole lot of a difference in destroyer knife fights. But having a faster reload or a couple thousand more health points do. Basically any inspiration that's going to give you a little bit of an advantage if you run into another destroyer. So what have we missed so far in this game? Well, the enemy Benson was forced to tuck tail and run away with some good radar work from Sank and some good accuracy from our team. The enemy Nürnberg pulled some daring and brilliant maneuvers as he valiantly rushed forward into the cap. He, the York, and eventually the Kirov all must be drinking from the same water sources. They all play very similar this game. Maybe a good review of their How to Cruiser manual might be a good idea before the next match. Truthfully though, this side of the map really only has our 2 destroyers, with our friendly cruisers holding down the middle. There's no reasons the cruisers on this side couldn't have rushed us and bullied us out of the cap.
Why you bullying me?
Especially if either one of the German cruisers could have gotten within sonar range. We would have been in a bit of a pickle. So the York burns down and the Mutsu blunders into one of our torpedoes. The York kill might have been a little bit of a yoink, but hey, it happens to you, it happens to me. So when I get the yoinkage, I'm probably not going to complain about it. The Mutsu in the middle of the map, I'm kind of trying to stay away from. I just don't want to be taking shots from too many different directions. But it looks like he's just about to be out of the match. The Kirov is the tier 4 tech tree Russian cruiser. So somewhere along the line here, there was a bit of a failed division. I think back in the day, I used to complain a lot about failed divisions, but hey, if that's how you want to play the game, I just pray you're not on my team. There's nothing like having a Fuso going up against Iowa-class battleships or Vladivostoks. So at this point, we have such a big health pool that I didn't even bother dodging the Mutsu shells. I figure he could have hit me with 4. They would have been overpins with his big 16-inch shells. So we take a pretty good hit, but mostly that's just me being lazy. I see the game is pretty well won at this point. A good AP salvo from Biscuit here finishes off the Kirov. And at this point, I see this big juicy battleship here, and it is time for some Xbox YOLO action. That's another reason I like to use Billy Sims on most of my destroyers, because it saves you a little bit of HP for some YOLO action. I checked really quickly. I couldn't remember what the detectability on this ship is, and I think it's at 5.6. And my Yerzy Swirski is 11, I believe. So not the best concealment. You could definitely get it a lot better. But the more that I play this game and the more I play destroyers, I'm not so afraid of being spotted. You know, with a ship like this, at, you know, long range gunboating and shooting, it's definitely a good strategy, something that you can do, you know, if you're staying at long ranges. So as we clean up the last of Red Team here, I would definitely recommend more people to go to the Looking for a Division tab. You might run across some good players that can help you pull back from the brink of ripping your hair out. A special thanks to Sync, and I hope one day you come across this video. If some of you remember, back during December, Wargaming did a special thing where they released stats daily as you logged in and completed the advent calendar. So back then, roughly 100 of my 2,500 games had been played with a div mate. So I'm very much a lone wolf. But in a game like this, you just can't say enough for having good division mates. So I think it would be more fun, you know, good for the community if more people logged in, did Looking for a Division, and found good people to play with that way. Part of me is actually wondering about doing a series where just randomly logging in, finding div mates, and turning it into a video. Sounds kind of unique, and I haven't seen anyone else do that yet. So here we are hunting for our final kill, and this poor sap just comes zipping across here, giving us the Kraken, and thanks to my team for letting me yoink their kills. But overall, that was a fun match, short and sweet. The next video I will continue working on is a Chronicles video for Hood, kind of like the Grosser Kerfuss video that just came out. So if you guys are interested in that, stay tuned and sub with notifications on to keep up with the content. All right, thanks guys, see ya.